Dankeschön. Yes.
All right, we're back for episode 77 of the Idiot Circle. I'm Mike.
I'm Fred.
Czar.
And look who we have. We have our co-star. Is that Mike McMahon over there or whatever? Was it Jim McMahon or whatever his name was? Ed McMahon. Wearing that and he's representing the douchebagistan town of Alabama, Mobile,
Tuscaloosa.
Alabama, Tuscaloosa. So that would be Brock Hanley. Welcome back to the show. And our guest tonight, one of my favorite people of all time.
Mary Lou Retton's on the show.
1984 gold medalist.
Yeah,
There's
Absolutely.
I have learned something real quick, Rob. There's no use in getting an argument with somebody that should have been swallowed.
Ooh.
Yeah.
He's
So
had that in the hopper for 2 weeks. That's why.
yes, I've been waiting for it. I've been waiting for it. Hey, nice hat though. Good job. I like that.
I was wondering when someone would notice it.
Oh yeah, well, it's beautiful. So
I can't quite see it.
one of the good people from Marine City. Love this guy. I coached him in high school. He and I had some
He's
major
all
battle.
fucked up then.
Yeah, well, he's better off now. I mean, after a few therapy sessions he got through, and having major battles with him in the name game. Mr. Andy Scheel, ladies and gentlemen.
Dog clap, golf cap, golf clap.
Yes.
Thanks for joining
Andrew,
me.
thanks, Andrew, for coming on the show, buddy.
Thanks for having me. This is really cool. I mean, the Idiot Circle, that's something I drove the Idiot Circle for many years. I think I put 30 of the miles of my car off Water Street, Queen City to Broadway, down and back around.
Andy,
If that's what this is named after, I'm all about it.
Andy, you've hit a new low when you've had your first appearance on this show. So, there's really nowhere to go but up, Andy. That's
it's like coaches that came into Detroit.
That's all I need, man. That's all the motivation and encouragement I need.
That's like getting drafted to the Pistons.
Oof.
Yeah.
Or being a quarterback and getting drafted to like the Jets.
Right.
Or Carolina.
Or
Or
Alabama.
wearing sunglasses and
So my other daughter lives in Carolina, and you can buy upper bowl tickets for 50 cents.
Yeah, there was
for a small fortune.
They showed the game the other day, and it was like empty, and seats were going for $4.
Yeah,
but don't be fooled. $4 tickets with your tax and fees from StubHub, you're still paying $34.50.
Yeah.
and then $100 for parking, $100 for food and beer. So you're still talking about a $334 a day per person.
Right.
Brock, talk to us about the visor. Talk to us about the visor, Brock.
The visor.
Yeah.
Nick Saban's got gray hair, and I like to emulate, heroes of mine.
Does he have gray hair? I mean, you want
hold on.
hair?
Did you hear
what? Bald hair in the top?
Mike, did you hear
it is kind of going away.
Mike, did you hear what he said?
No.
Saban wears a visor, and he's a hero of his. Are we talking about the same people, the same person that was a coach at Michigan State and then just up and left in the middle of the night? Oh yeah, that's somebody I wanted to be a hero for, right? Rob with Brian Kelly.
He did good work there. He did good work there.
Midnight Nick.
Brock, have you heard this? I heard him in an interview, and he talked about this. He said his daughters, I guess he's got 2 or 3 daughters, they are fans of Michigan State only, not Alabama, not the Miami Dolphins. And every time he walks in a room and college Saturday's over, nobody wants to talk about their wins. The girls want to talk about, did Michigan State win that week? And he's like, why do you guys like Michigan State so much? And the girls are like, I don't know. We just love the school. So
beautiful campus, man. I think it's one of most beautiful campuses that a university can have.
Most Budamus Camatus.
Budamus, yeah, right.
That's about the only thing they got going for them. Nice silver lining, Fred. Good
I
job.
just like to say I got a great coach that texts me at night, usually about midnight.
And I had this funny feeling like I climbed the rope in gym class and it was Mel Tucker saying, "Hey, how you doing?" Yeah.
I'm sure there's a few dumpsters on fire on campus still. So
Oh, I'm sure. So Andy, again, welcome to the show, and kind of want to talk a little bit about, some of the things that obviously what you're doing, what talk about a little bit about your role with the football team, and then feel free if you have some topics you want to throw at us or give us your best Marine City memory from high school and or from the Idiot Circle, and then we'll go from there. We got a couple topics for you too.
Well, yeah, I'm a Marine City guy, born and raised there. Spent the first 18 years of my life there, and then have been loosely connected to, straight up to year 50, which is this year. And Marine City has been something that has really been a story of my life, even if I've not lived exactly there and those kinds of things. About 13 years ago, I got to come back. I graduated from Marine City in 92, went to school, stayed out on the west side of the state for a couple of years, then got a job in Macomb County that I worked at for 13 years. I had to come back.
Clintondale Dragons.
Clintondale High School, that's right. Home of the Dragons. And I got to come back. There was an opportunity to come back and be a counselor in the East China School District.
Following in Dad's footsteps.
40 years. Yeah, he was there for I think 39 or 40 years.
Ooh.
So, it wasn't replacing him necessarily, but ultimately what wound up happening was I did get an opportunity to come back and be at both Marine City and St. Clair high schools, and I got to have his office. So that was kind of interesting. I've been there now for some time. I'm now at Marine City Middle School as a counselor. But the whole time that I have been back, I just finished my 29th year of coaching high school football. I coached out at Portage Northern for 4 years. Then I was for 13 years at Clintondale. Just finished my 12th year at Marine City. So it's been really cool to be, come back and be part of those things and work for Ron Godich, who was one of my coaches. And just kind of be able to try to help and support Darren Lutz and Dave Front and all the, Joe Forgetto and all those guys in the program and keep it moving forward. And that's just trying to do that, and pay that legacy forward that helped me, and decide what I wanted to be and do and those kinds of things when I graduated. So work with the defense at the varsity level. I have since 2012. I was fortunate enough to be part of the 2013 staff that won a state championship. I was on the 2021 staff that went to the state finals. It's been just an awesome, you anticipate, being able to come back to Marine City. And I had left in the early 90s. I'll come back in 2012. So there's 20 years I wasn't involved with the program and how similar it still was. And that was what was really something I kind of anticipated, and I was so glad that was the case. But that's what I've done, and I really, really have been. It's been a privilege to come back.
Andy, I'd like to say that I've always said this, that the Marine City is the Michigan Wolverines of the thumb.
Cool with that.
He's changed it up from the Alabama of the thumb to the Georgia of the thumb to now the Michigan Wolverines of the thumb.
It's the Michigan Wolverines of the thumb.
Well, comparing against colleges, we have to be adaptive.
Right.
Great coaches, good program, legacy.
Right.
Andy,
Tradition.
did you say you're in your dad's old office?
Oh, I think he froze up.
Uh-oh.
Take a screenshot. I missed it.
So
ask question again, Rob.
Go ask your question.
Yeah, Andy, did you say you were in your dad's old office?
I did get an opportunity
Don't tell me you found something in there. You were like, Dad, what the fuck?
No,
No,
but
his
what
dad
what
his
was
dad was the
interesting
best, man.
was, the one teacher, there's two teachers that three technically, because one of them is still there that came the second half of my senior year. But the two guys that I got to work with that were there when I was a student were Glodich and then Babowski.
Oh,
nice.
the woodshop teacher.
I got to work, and he converted. He stayed in the wood shop. They had built it up, and it had even expanded from the 80s and 90s. And then there was the movement away from that kind of vocational education at the building level. And he became the lead history teacher, the top history teacher. He became the Mr. Homburg, Marine City High School. At the end,
Boy.
he was excellent at it. But he had all that stuff back there, all that wood shop. And it was the whole area that was Bo's wing that's called is now the main office at Marine City High School. Has been completely redone and those kinds of things. And did they find some things in there? They found some things up in there. There's little tuckaways and stuff like that. They found, 45-year-old packs of cigarettes and beer cans and all sorts of things.
I can tell you one tuck away. Fred will know it. Timmy's not on the show, but we used to go up there. On the stage,
Timmy, by the way.
if you go on the stage, there was a little two doors that you couldn't reach unless you had a couple chairs or something piled up, or you could jump up, pull up there. Those doors were unlocked. We had a little secret room in there, and it had like two compartments. You'd get into one, and then it had a little half wall into the other. Do you remember that, Fred?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was in the back, right?
It was like when you looked at the stage, if you got on the stage, it was to the right.
Well, and to the
I think I
left,
remember
they had
that.
and to the left, they had those little stairs and they had that little
Yeah.
bunk up there too. You could be up there too. We
Yeah.
did some things up there that won't be discussed on the show.
You and Rob?
You and Rob.
No, no.
Hey, they're cousins. So
What happens in Marine City High School, Brock, stays at Marine City.
kissing cousins, Rob or Brock.
Hey, listen.
That's the way you phrased it.
We are north of West Virginia and Kentucky. So
Well, I'm sure in Alabama that your daughter has seen some things down there, Brock. So
You know what? She told me she went to an Alabama football game and she was wearing jeans and she gets there and all the girls when they go to these games, they dress up. I mean, they're like gowns and it's
From Walmart and Target and stuff. Yeah.
I'm sure your daughter's an outcast.
You mock what you don't understand.
I'm she's an outcast down there because she has all of her teeth.
Yeah. She is a queen down there. She's got all two. Yeah. Oh yeah. She is top notch in Alabama.
I always wonder what the tooth to tattoo ratio is down there for most of those.
No kidding,
6-1 going tattoos. Yeah,
right. Not to mention that the state song of Alabama is "I Am My Own Grandpa."
Hey, Brock, cheers. You got something, don't you?
Cheers.
Hey, so
what are you drinking, Brock?
Yeah,
whiskey.
Healing.
I figured.
Healing whiskey. It's an Irish whiskey.
Oh,
yeah. I'm sure that's really popular. It's probably right up there with Pop-Off vodka.
Actually, it is pretty damn good.
Right. Good.
If you knew anything about whiskey.
Yeah, I'm not much.
When I drink whiskey, I drink whiskey. When I drink water, I drink water.
Nice. So Andy, not only you're doing coaching and counseling, but now you have this new podcast that you do down in Detroit.
Wait, before we go to the podcast, I got to ask something. Hold on. You obviously can't say names, but tell us like the craziest thing that someone came in your office and said about counseling. You got something good?
You can't discuss that. That's
he's not going to say names. He doesn't have to say
what year. HIPAA violation. You can't.
It's not. I don't say anything with HIPAA. I'm not talking about their medical record. HIPAA. You got to have one good story. Like it's got.
He's got more than one.
There's more than one.
Yeah.
But I mean, there are some things that let's just say the textbooks don't quite prepare you.
Oh yeah, I would think definitely not. Yeah.
And it's not on a daily basis or anything like that. I mean, it's a really good job, but there's some things that you're like, oh, I did not quite sure I signed up for that, but or like, oh yeah, they didn't have that scenario on page 456 in chapter 17 of you know dealing with teens.
Yeah.
So I
I
mean,
have a question
yeah,
for you, Andy.
it can get interesting. It can get interesting.
I mean,
I
we
have a
could tell you
question.
stuff when we were in school we saw happen, that just crazy
Right.
stuff that
Well,
So
I'll
have
say
you,
this, like in regards to like back in those times, I think my kids in many ways were more daring back then. Definitely, I mean, it was there was kids definitely had tougher, thicker skin back in those days. I think there's just just it was it operated differently. In many ways, not to minimize anybody, but it was simpler. I mean, it certainly was simpler. We didn't have cell phones. We weren't hitting somebody up via text in
I mean,
another room.
that whole wing back
No.
by Babowski's office kind of had a cloud and haze. I mean, you could smell some reefer. You know what I mean? I mean, that back in 1985, right? It was a little, yeah.
Oh, that's not wheat reaper. That's wood burning.
Yeah, that's
from
wood
the
burning stuff. There was
yeah,
some,
something's
some
burning.
shenanigans going on
Right.
down there. There was some stuff.
Well, I could just remember.
I heard. I only
like
heard.
water boy for like your guys' basketball, and even earlier, like at half times and stuff, like down in front of like the old main office and where the composites were, people were just blasting heaters, smoking probably like cigarette after cigarette after cigarette right in the building, man. I mean, smoke everywhere. Then rush back in there to see the second half of the basketball game. I can remember when it was different than back in those days. And
Oh,
going
yeah.
there, like on half days with my dad or whatever in the 70s, and people would be like grading papers and they'd have an ashtray and have smoke while they're grading their papers right at their desk. With just how a school building used to operate back in those times. So yeah, that I can remember
Oh, yeah.
definitely a different time.
Well, I
Nobody
remember.
sniffing glue in
Oh,
2022. Nobody sniffing glue. Nobody.
yeah. All right.
Oh,
Well, they're huffing.
yeah.
they're eating Tide Pods.
Yeah, God.
It was a phenomenon that had come
Yeah.
through, that's for sure.
Hey,
Yeah.
do you think if they brought back the paddle, that they would stop some of the shit those kids do in school? I mean, obviously they're not going to do that.
Sued.
But
Well, it's
Okay,
been
hold
now
on.
about
Obviously,
No,
they're
he's
not gonna
saying
do
if
that.
you didn't get sued and you brought it back, do you think it would curb it?
No, all I'm saying is back like when we were in school, I thought I was a smart guy one time in Mr. Amiel's class. I got the paddle. I never did a goddamn thing wrong. I didn't blink if he didn't tell me to blink. I mean, I was not going to get in any trouble. You know what I mean? One time wasn't enough for me. I mean, I knew that, and it also stopped other people from being a jackass because that shit hurt.
Yeah.
Now
That
these
shit
kids can
hurt.
get away with murder.
Yep. So Andy, a couple memories that I want you to tell the guys about is the phone call you gave me, or that you called me about the year that you asked me to replace your dad. That's the one. And then I want you to talk about the bet you had with your buddy there doing the rec basketball game. You remember that
He
one?
always
Oh,
leads.
yeah.
He always leads the witness.
Just random stories about me.
No,
Tell this one and this
no,
one.
it's but see, they're first of all, the ones is cool, and I wanted to mention it to him before the show, but didn't get a chance to. So it would be a little bit more natural, but but I wanted just to tell. But the second one is, to me, I think is hilarious. So go ahead.
Well, for sure. Absolutely. But let me start with this one. I got something that's of a different perspective that I think you guys might appreciate.
Oh,
Okay.
And I was walking back from Washington Elementary on a Friday afternoon in the fall. What year exactly? I can't put that, but I was walking back from Washington Elementary. I was walking home. I live on 304 North Main Street. Parents still own that house, live there to today. And I got to, Westminster, North Main, across from the house, and here comes a probably a 1977 era Cutlass Supreme with some nice, chrome mag wheels on it, T-tops.
I heard Cutlass Supreme. I was getting a little scared.
People hollering and whipping and going. They're going pretty fast. Have the sting onto their antenna. Piece of hair. It was the guys that took Bob Bola's toupee off his head at the homecoming pep rally at Spring City High School.
It was Denny Stockwell.
Do you read that we were having that assembly where they ripped it off his head?
Yeah, I
roller
saw
skates.
it crossing. I saw it on the Victory Tour. They're on M29 heading north. That's when I saw it on the streets.
They took it. Andy, what happens? We had an assembly. It was all dark in there, and they had the flash, the spotlight on Bola. And Denny Stockwell and a couple other people got on roller skates, rolled into the gym, ripped it off of his head, and got out of the building before he could do anything. So nobody knew who did it. Nobody said anything. And then the next morning when I came into school, his toupee was tacked up onto the wall, and underneath it said Bola got scalped.
Yeah.
Didn't they have some kind of a costume on, didn't they?
Well,
they had all black with a black ski mask.
Yeah.
Dude, I was on the stage.
You had first eye view.
I was I forget what it was. It was some kind of was it the fall? It was in the fall because it was homecoming. So they had the homecoming court on there, and that was Gary Mabry was king. I was Prince. Of course, everybody else, the Dubé was on there. I'm sitting there, and he's talking, and all of a sudden you see two guys flash by, and they were running. They weren't wearing roller skates.
No, they were running.
And they had sheets over there.
That's what they had. They had sheets.
They had sheets on them.
Yeah.
And I knew right away who the fuck it was. Because I was at a party and I heard that they were talking stories that they wanted to do that. I totally dismissed it. I'm like, there's no fucking way these guys are going to do that. No, well, they did it.
Well, they did. Stockwell
had. Bola did. Remember Bola did? He put the microphone on the stage and just walked to his office. Didn't say nothing. Yep.
Didn't Fred have his toupee on her chest that Putty got that night?
Yeah, it was at parties. It was at parties. Everybody was putting it on, and
yeah,
I didn't do it. I mean, I saw it, and I was like, they were all drunk and high. I'm like,
Brock was like the Mr. Zakuter or whatever, or the Zakuter film.
The Zapruder film.
Yeah, whatever. I can't remember what his name was.
If they had cell phones.
Yeah, that would have been great. So go ahead, Andy.
Yeah, that was. I figured you guys might have some interest in that. That was the elementary school perspective of that incident.
Well, Fred and I had him as an elementary school principal and at Marine City High School. Yeah, we can get away from it.
Yeah.
Hey, Andy, that make you want to go to high school or stay in middle school?
Well, I just, I guess I was old enough to realize, I have to ask my dad if something happened because, I don't know how. I mean, I would have known to put that together. And sure enough, he comes back. Well, we had somebody stole Bob Bola's toupee, off his head.
And now if some kids put so and so got scalped, hell, we'd have the FBI in there investigating.
Yeah, no doubt.
It'd be a hate crime.
Oh, would there be a hate crime?
That was that. Fred, and like I said, my dad has a lot to do with me wanting to go into, education big time. You may or may not have had him as your counselor. He was there. He definitely was there because he's was there from the early 70s till 2010.
He was the counselor at our elementary school too, Ward Cottrell Elementary.
Yep. He had an expanded role at one time. He did St. Clair too for a quick second, like the late 70s during the military crisis or whatever. But anyway, so I mean, that he kind of had a big part of it. He had, back in the day. Now you have, Craig Zimmerman and Jesse LeBoon are the voices of the Mariners as far as TV. Fred is at the stadium. and you got a couple of, the
We wouldn't know that, Andy, that Fred's the voice of the Mariners.
He never told us.
We never heard that before. We don't.
He is.
Yeah.
well, he
Douche to
is.
douche.
Oh, he is.
But
When did
You
this
notice
happen?
that his voice is different when he's at the stadium than like right now?
You would never know it was Fred announcing.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah.
well, no. At any, well, Fred,
Anywho,
they said this is the way it was going to be a little bit. But at any rate, I'll say this. So,
Classic Fred.
well, anyway, Fred was, my dad was, he retired in 2010. He was in local radio for a period of time. And then he kind of got away from it. He worked for WSMA radio.
Yeah.
They played, two different kinds of country and western.
Love that station.
But anyway, and I think it was on like about 6 or 7 hours a day. Not on Sundays. I don't know. It was at a weird frequency. It was either, they turned the power on or off some days. But they were the local radio station from Marine City, St. Clair, Holy Cross, Marysville, even up into the Port Huron. They were kind of one of the radio stations, them in the Port Huron stations. Aaron Cable came in and they got expanded coverage and things started to change. He took the stadium announcing job at Marine City for football. Chuck Windsor did it for basketball. And that was in a different era where, it was real localized. I mean, you had the great Clare game, the Marine City game, the Algonac game, there were packed houses on Fridays. It was a place to be. It was at the Marine City basketball game, the football game. Back in those days, the afternoons, after, 4 o'clock starts before, during those mid 80s, good times. And, but he carried on and he did that for a long time. He did it even longer after he had retired from school. There came a time, he's a 76-year-old man now. And, it just tough around the knees, climbing those stairs. His ears, his hearing was kind of going. It was the job was getting more difficult for him. It was time for a replacement. And we kind of wanted to do this the right way. That's like, hey, I mean, you guys are great guys. There's a million great people from Marine City, but they don't grow people that can speak with a microphone in public on trees. There's not tons of them. No, there, hang in the movie Kingpin or whatever, when, there's a say dictionary salesman or whatever. You don't have to read them to sell them or whatever. But,
like put him down for a point. That's great reference, Kingpin.
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
We need to have
if we wanted to go on a roll with that, we could do that for the next 3 or 4 hours. And just just go around and do movie references. But
you don't want to get money.
Anyway, there's too many ain't gots and too many cousins and going to Kmart's in the library. And we needed somebody that's going to be able to speak a little bit, somebody that has a little passion for it, and somebody's going to kind of carry it forward. And it's one of those things you don't think about or whatever. So we ask him, and he's a pretty humble guy. He does not really ever ask for anything, or will only insert his 2 cents if you ask him. He's not a guy that's going to do that. So we ask him, and where did he go? And he's going to thinking. He's like, he wants to be, kind of mindful of somebody that is going to be around for a while and do it. Somebody that's going to kind of get in and fit in. And sure enough, he says, "How about Fred Windsor?" And
everybody said no.
Great idea. No. So I was like, I'll put it out there to him. And, so Fred, just so you know, you were a chosen one of the chosen one. He passed the lightsaber to you. He gave you the robe to wear. So, but anyway, and you've been there rock solid since. And, we're glad that you're there. You're a big part of those Friday nights.
Fred, talk about what that meant for you.
Here we go.
The life you were in.
Yeah.
And the
No,
you were going for.
I will tell you, it came at a right time. I was sitting in my apartment and was looking for a job, and I just moved into my apartment, and there's just really not a lot, it wasn't really a lot of good positive things going on at that time. And, and Andy called me and said, "Hey, just want to throw something at you." I'm like, "Well, what is it?" He goes, "Would you be interested in taking over my dad's position as the voice of the Mariners?" And I went silent for a minute, and I'm like, are you serious?" And he goes, "Yeah, I'm totally serious." I'm like, "Hell yeah, let's do it." And ever since then, and it didn't hit me until I had to go down and do a TV interview with Fred Shaw, Phil Russell, your dad, and myself. And it was the day before. It was the day before the first game, and I'm like, "Holy shit, this is really coming. This is coming to fruition." So the funny part was I thought, okay, was really nervous, but in the first game, and they go, "Oh, by the way, you have to announce Ron Glodich is the Michigan coaches Hall of Fame, the Michigan Hall of Fame. You got to do the Hall of Fame for Marine City, and you got to acknowledge Dave Scheel during the game." I'm like, "Shit, this is my first game." I'm like, "God, I'm just trying to be used to that, and you're going to throw all that at one time." So yeah, it went well, and it's gone well so far. And I'll just say, Andy, and you guys, thank you for being supportive, and I always get, when you guys are in the crowd, I always make something up to throw your names out there too. So Brock, as soon as I see you at a game, you'll get a shout out for sure.
Especially if it has that Alabama.
Isn't that special, Brock?
Yeah.
I feel like Brock Haley streaking across the field. Somebody to get him a coat.
Yeah.
I thought for sure.
Let's give
Andy
it
was
up to
gonna
Brock
say-
Hanley, whose rash cleared up on his ass the other day. And you only had to take 2 treatments of penicillin.
Yes. Ladies
Shout
and
out to
gentlemen,
Brock.
ladies and
He's
gentlemen,
got
please direct your view to the 50-yard line, where a man is bending over with 2 bees on his rear end, and when he bends over, it says Bob. Oh, that is Brock Hanley.
I thought for sure, Andy, you're gonna say we needed someone articulate with a good speaking voice, not afraid to talk in front of people. He wasn't available, so we asked Fred.
someone with a face for radio.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't look like Rick Zombo, so hey, easy. Give me a break.
What does your dad think? Has he heard Fred call a game, Andy?
Yeah.
He has, and he thinks he's doing a great job. He was rusted. He's, like I said, and I guess to play the joke role, he doesn't hear very well.
Yeah.
So
Did your
not
dad
exactly?
wish?
So he doesn't hear very well. So he's thinking Fred's doing great. But anyway,
Did your dad wish he could have coined another Marine City first down?
It's not Marine City first down.
And those are the things he's glad that he does, because he was very much a Morse code type guy. He did it. He announced it. Like they were captions on the bottom of the screen, and that was his way of doing things. So yeah, he was hoping. He knows that that it's number one, he was real glad because the speaker system at that stadium got real wonky for a few years. And it wasn't
and it's
very
still
good.
wonky. It needs to be fixed this year.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah, it's touchy.
Artist that blames his paintbrush, Fred.
Hey, here's my paintbrush to you.
It comes through a Daktronic scoreboard now, which has got these just like mega, like concert level kind of booming speakers on it. For super, I think our electronics, it needs that upgrade for it, which it should be getting. But yeah, he does a great job with it, and it's weird how Marine City, how it looks like in a Marine City football game as it did 40 years ago. And you had it at 4:00 on a Friday afternoon at Ward Cottrell Field at the school. The team would walk down from the school. That was a tradition back then. It was cool as hell. Everybody would line that entrance. They'd be like, the team would be like walking through like Ford F-150s and Chrysler Newports and like there's the parking lot right there, and all of a sudden here they come. As soon as they hit that dirt, that gravel, boom, they come in the field. It was a cool thing, man. The weird concession stand underneath the press box, and only one side of bleachers. That was a real unique thing to that stadium. That when that was built, it was like it's like we're playing in the Rose Bowl. This is amazing back here,
Mhm.
and then with
He's
the turf.
talking about the old. He's talking like the old guys that talk about like the old Olympia Stadium, isn't he? I mean,
Yeah, I mean that's
so
what-
nostalgic
Well, that's
about that.
well,
old
that's the
stadium.
thing about Andy. He can bring he can tell a story and bring the nostalgic vibe to it or the historic vibe of it, and he paints the picture very nicely.
Well, just like,
Thank you, Captain Obvious, for that little segment.
well, just like the different
Go fuck
places,
yourself.
okay, like, and
Go
for
fuck
me,
yourself.
it really grew, but like for a kid to go to get something to eat in Marine City, what it was like, and
Oof.
He must have that St. Clair Wi-Fi.
yeah.
No, he's
that place was great. Joe Dogs, okay, they
Yeah.
used to do it for that
Dogs.
Maritime Christmas for Go Time. That was sweet when they did that. That was awesome. That
Oh yeah.
place was great.
Mhm.
Now, I mean, and then we really when McDonald's got built and all that, back then it was just like, okay, New York City 1, Green City 2. We are booming metropolis. We got a McDonald's. There's no sense in ever considering moving now.
Right.
We got a McDonald's.
We got a
And all those different things and that were part of the fabric of growing up for us. Now it's a little simpler. It's kind of like it was.
Oof. Is this Tim McConnell's cable station?
Brock's not frozen up today, so that's pretty
I
good.
know, Brock. What happened? I mean, you got the gerbils working down there in the basement. Like,
I
He's
borrowed
got
some
the-
of friends.
He's got the chinchilla.
yeah.
Yeah.
I can't believe he shows up in an Alabama visor.
I don't know.
Hold on.
What the
Well,
heck?
You want me
at
to
least
a
Andy's
different
looking good in that
visor?
picture.
I mean, don't they have enough fans, Brock? Seriously?
Should I pick another visor?
Sorry, but there he's back. He's back.
I faded out, but like I can remember going to see my very first, the very first. That wasn't the first movie I ever saw. I saw that like in Port Huron, I think. But very first movie at that cinema, I saw Kenny Rogers and Six Pack.
Nice.
That movie theater
Yeah.
in Marine City. Greatest
Yeah.
thing
Nice.
ever. That was awesome.
Great movie.
6-pack.
Like one of the first movies played in that week. I don't know what the other two were. I
Probably
think Back to the
Jaws
Future was
3D.
there from 1985 to 1999.
That's it. They probably showed it in all 3 theaters, the 6-pack. It was that popular, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when Kenny Rogers was making a movie in Marine City, you're getting 500 people that week.
Yeah.
Kenny Rogers is a Marine City type of guy.
Yeah, sponsored by WSMA.
1590 AM.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
So
Sponsored by
yeah.
Skipper Electronics.
Skipper's Electronic. Hill's Garage.
Yeah.
Hey, so
Cash and carry.
yep.
Um,
So go ahead and tell them the other story, and then we want to also hear about this podcast that you're involved in too.
so the other story I was going to mention was that we talked about. What did you want me to talk about?
Oh, if you forgot, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We just keep going. Have a glass.
The bet at the rec game.
Oh yeah. No, that's another heyday of Marine City. That's just not quite the same as the rec sports, adult rec sports. That softball league was amazing down there. Being in the Heim tournament, Gord's Orange and Gord's Black. I remember like being in elementary school. I went thinking like those guys were like the New York Yankees and stuff like that. Adidas, the Model T Lounge had a team, and I'm not so much. I didn't want to be like any of those guys.
Man, I really think we get this guy to believe we are a big podcast.
We are.
But anyway, and then we had the basketball league in the winter, and I worked for Marine City Recreation. And me and Steve Ainio were the guys that would like do the clock and keep the book, so that they could keep a ledger of things and keep the standings and all that kind of stuff. Roger Malcolm and Jim Hademack were the referees.
Oh God.
And so we would do this thing, and we would like okay, you get to know these teams pretty good. There's really like 2 or 3 decent teams, and then about 6 years. And we would kind of like just for some extra things, we'd put $5, $2 down. Okay, who's we do over unders, we would do all sorts of different things. And Fred was at one of his teams. He was on a team, one of the younger teams. They were in the upper part of the league. They were on the good part. It was like 3 or 4 good teams, like I said, 5 or 6 pretenders. They were playing against a team not very good. My buddy Steve sets he picks, Fred's team minus 18. Oh, like, yeah, okay, I'm going to take the other team. All right. That's I'm giving them a lot of points. Sure enough, this is by then. This is the early '90s, so the 3-point line's in and it's in effect. Fred's team's winning, but by 16 points. And awesome. Gonna lay down this bet. Gonna win this one. The pool had been up to like 25 or something. Hit the fives. We just kind of like we push and see if we can keep doing it. I was gonna close. I'm taking this. Fred comes rolling down the court. Friggin', there's like 4 or 5 seconds. No one's defending him because the game is over. They're winning by 16. He Larry Birds up about a 32-foot shot. Nothing but net. They win by 19. Friggin' he pulled.
And he comes running up to me, you son of a bitch. Steve,
Did you shoot that?
Poof. Right down the middle of the court. Nobody was there. Just stepped over half court about 2 steps and just launched it.
Real that.
That's how Fred got all his points. Nobody guarded him.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mike. I really appreciate that.
No problem.
Well, probably the best team in that league, and still at that time, was
my dad's team.
Chuck's team. They beat Fred's team. They had Jeff Cook on that team, who's like about a 30-year-old Jeff Cook at that time. Maybe not quite, maybe in his late 20s still. And he got pretty good. He did. He could play.
6'10".
6'10" with 7.
And I had
7'3" with the afro.
Yes.
But
good job, Fletch.
That's Fletch. But he could play, and Sarah just didn't miss shots. Your dad did all the little things that just other people didn't even know about.
I mean, you had Angelo and you had Bill,
who was
Beaker.
a stud back then. Still,
yeah. Well, I mean, he was a stud at Wayne State. He still has. I think he still has a couple records down.
He
there.
could like play near the rim. For a 35-year-old guy at that time.
I mean, yeah, and Mike, you see Angelo Petsalis walking around, when he was owning the Riviera, and you're going, this guy was a basketball star at Wayne State.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That fucker was a stud, and we can, we'd be beating them, and we always would lose by 3 or 4 points, and it would just drive me flipping batty. So. I know those were good times, and Andy's been a part of. I mean, he was like I said, he was our ball boy when I was a senior in high school. I known his dad for a long time. I ended up coaching Andy at Marine City with my dad. He was our first baseman. Threw him on the mound a couple times. Come in there and throw his little funky left-handed fastballs like this and. But
the Queen's pitch and make it up.
Yeah. So Andy, with all those memories and stuff like from Marine City and the stuff that you remember growing up and the stuff you do now, I hear that you are doing some stuff with the Detroit Lions, and you have some sort of podcast that you're doing now. Why don't you tell us a little bit what you're doing with the Lions, and then what's this podcast all about?
Yeah, well, they're 2 separate things. My podcast, we call it the Sports Peninsula Podcast. Me and another guy from Marine City, also Dave Druzynski.
Oh boy,
he graduated with me. We just very much like how you guys have done. We wanted to start it. We wanted to make it, Michigan sports, whether it's University of Michigan, which we've done Michigan football. We had Jim Scarcelli on there, and Jim Scarcelli was on our podcast before he became on the Amazing Blue Review with Bennett's 50. Rival. And so that was kind of a thing. But Dave and I have had different people on. We've interviewed Tim Melito. We've interviewed Greg Jones, who's a Michigan State player. Real good, great players of the 21st century. And we just cover Lion stuff, NFL draft. He does a lot of things with boxing. He had I wasn't on that episode, but he interviewed Michael Moore's that female manager. Remember, she had like a woman kind of a
Oh yeah.
he was on it. She was on the podcast one time. It's kind of cool. So we do that. It's not dissimilar to your guys. It's on YouTube. It's called the Sports Peninsula Podcast, Peninsula, Michigan. That's kind of how we rhyme with that. But what I do with the Lions, and I was talking with Mike Nazar before we got on, was I got this real cool opportunity, really through some people from St. Clair, to do the next gen stats at Ford. Technically, we're Zebra Technology. That's the company that I work for. That's contracted through the NFL, and they have regions: Central, South, East, and West. In the Central region, I've only done Lions games, except I've done one Browns Bills game because that was the Blizzard game from last year, and I did that game too at Ford Field. Really wild. They had all like the in-game sound and in-game graphics and all the things like it was a Buffalo Bills game. It was wild, like all their horns and different things that they use. It was crazy. It was just like a Bills game. But but it's really, really cool opportunity. It's a technology-based job. Definitely learning on my feet there. There's a lot. The access is pretty amazing. I mean, just being as close as you are to these things, and moreover than anything, some of these guys, just to go to a game, it's like, I might, have to squash my kids' college dreams to go to a football game over there. So damn expensive. It's going through the roof. It's like the only way I can go to a game is if I'm going to work at it.
Right.
And then lo and behold, we get this cool thing. But it's a real, real neat opportunity that I've got. And John Bacon and Sam Schweihofer, and John Yakum in St. Clair. Those are the guys that are responsible. The guys that work for Zebra.
Hey, Andy, for people that are not familiar with Next Gen, talk a little bit about that, though.
It really digitally confirms all statistics that you could possibly think of. And when I say all statistics you possibly could think of, not just the numerical, like yards, all that stuff. It does do that. It calibrates those things. Some of the other things, it's speed of, just actual like foot speed through miles per hour, how fast they're running, collision impact data it can provide, the trajectory of the ball when it's kicked, all these different things that can kind of be used as evaluation tools, not just as how they are playing in a football game. Truly, if there was 11 men on the field, 13, 12, whatever, it can confirm that live. And the league actually does that. It's gotten down to the point now that they're looking at the referees. The referees are also tagged. That too much time is going at there's too much time that's happening at TV timeouts. Really, in turn, is giving sponsors free money too. They're getting free advertising. Rogers like, we want these guys being critiqued. So now they're monitoring the punch on a TV timeout when they wave their hands 3 times. They actually come to a punch. Come to that punch, they're going to start finding those referees.
Hey, second. I'll just stop you for 1 second because I know one of the things that this really featured this year that came out, and it kind of went back and forth with the 2 players. I forget the player that beat Tyreek Hill's game speed. And then, that was brought to light by this thing, right? And that was a big thing going back and forth, right? It created a buzz over it.
Was it DK Metcalf?
Was it Metcalf?
I know they got a good time on him when he chased down that player that, in that one game that's kind of been a famous Sunday night football game.
Yeah, Buda Baker.
Yeah, against Arizona, chased that kid down.
Yeah, and even Tyreek, who's bravado about his speed and how he's the fastest. When that came out, he tweeted back, he was like, well, I don't care about speed anyway. It's about wins and losses. And
Yeah, of course.
Sure it is.
yeah.
Sure it is.
There's so much more about football than speed, he said. Once some guy beat his speed. But so I got a question for you. Like Jahmyr Gibbs, right? What is his speed? Because he's got to be getting close to some of these guys.
He's routinely at the top. He's crossed plenty before. I mean, he usually averages in around 18.6, somewhere around there at his top speed every game, which that's, I mean, he would, if he was running through Shangri-La Trailer Park, it would be illegal. I mean,
there's nothing in Shangri-La Trailer Park that's illegal.
No.
That's a
There's
free
nothing.
zone. You do whatever you want in there.
Hey, Andy, what's the fastest kid you think you saw go through Marine City football?
the fastest player that Marine City generated themselves.
Well, that's went through the program. The fastest kid you've seen. I mean, like timed for 40 time. What's the fastest 40 time you've heard of and seen? Whatever.
During my time there was Zach Cutler.
We're not talking about Fred's 5'7". We're talking about somebody that's under 4.
Fred likes to say he ran a 4.2 all the time.
Really? A 4.2 to the John if I had to take a shit. Maybe.
After the beer truck.
So who did you say, Andy? We kind of
The fastest Mariner, at least in the modern era, there's 2 Blazers, and they just came through the program. There's Parker Atkinson, who is an absolute just blur. And he's still a senior in high school there now. But Zach Tutler ran in the fourth, I want to say in the upper 4.3s once before.
Now
That's fast.
Anthony Scarcelli put together a real crazy 40 time.
You know the difference is, there's that
Crazy is the right word.
And then there's football fast, right?
Yeah.
With another 20, 21 guys on the field and you're in pads. So talk about that. Talk about like what you've seen. Maybe a guy ran fast 40s, but when you watched the Mariners, you saw one guy on the field with pads just blow everybody away.
Garrett Matheson was something else.
No, good.
In his time. Pat Salas was something else in his time too. And these are guys, like you said, that maybe their 40 wasn't that, but they were unmatched as far as their competitiveness.
There's your boy in the background. See David in the background. He's a good man. Hey, if you want to see a good kid, polite, says hi to you, shakes your hand like a man, you should meet David, his son. Great guy, great kid.
Thanks. Yeah, he's doing something over there. Yeah, he's getting shoved around by somebody back there. I don't know what he's doing. He's bobbing around behind the couch there, but
never know what he's doing back there.
Thank you. And
back there.
I'll make sure that endorsement gets that
he always said he every time he was, now before he was in high school, he used to come to all the Mariner games. He would be up and doing some filming or something for the guys and so, and he always big smile. Hey, Mr. Windsor, and shake my hand with a big smile, and he goes, "How you doing?" "I'm good. How you doing?" "Awesome." And I'm like, "All right, sweet." You always say goodbye, Mr. Windsor, and never, if he never walked past without saying hello. So I mean, it's just he's a great kid. Is he having any opportunities playing anywhere?
Yeah, I mean, he's there's Lawrence Tech was an opportunity before that coaching staff was released, and now they have Scott Merchant, the Chippewa Valley coach, is going to take that job and go there, and there's some possibilities. He's going on January 13th at Kalamazoo College. He's going to be talking with them. We didn't live in Marine City. It was kind of a fluke that we even got the jobs back that we did. We tried to, but the route just got kind of stuck back here. I live out in Shelby Township, and just basically straight down the road, west about 25, 30 miles.
That's where 90% of Marine City people move to, it seems like.
Yeah, and that down through here. So we played it straight, and he went to Eisenhower, and he plays football there. Just finished up his senior year, and they won the MAC Red Championship, which is cool for them. And then he runs track there, and my daughter flying around back there somewhere too is a 9th grader at Mallow Junior High. They still have the junior high model.
Yeah, she was beating the shit out of him a minute ago. Maybe
she can. She can.
She should be a walk-on at MSU.
She's genetically more like her dad than her brother is.
Right.
He got
Brock,
recessive
what number are you on?
or maybe I'm not his father one. Something I don't know. But
Right.
he was changed that he was swapped at birth on accident. He was or something.
Right. No,
Athlete,
he's a spitting image, attitude, politeness, and everything of you. So yeah, there was no swap in the hospital at all. Hey, so guys, I got a couple topics real quick for you.
Topics. I hate topics.
No, you don't.
I do. I like it just to be free form.
It is.
Fred. I just
It
want
is.
to just bust on each other's balls and have a good time.
That's what we're doing. This is going to be a bust your balls type thing. So, hey guys, name two things that you hate about winter. And if you have an answer, feel free to speak up. We'll start with Brock. Brock, what's a couple things you hate about winter?
Well, I mean, I used to love winter, but now I don't like winter. But now it's just that 35-degree rain and it's like that 35-degree rain, slush, and then that one cloud that stays from like November to like the end of February. I mean, it seems
the one cloud sits over
there forever. Doesn't it seem like it? You look up, there's got to be a sun up there. Somewhere up there, there's a sun. It's in Florida with Rob.
Yeah.
Come on down, Brock. I got extra rooms.
Right. How about you, Mikey?
Well, I don't mind snow and I don't mind the cold so much, but ice, I don't like dealing with ice on the roads or on the sidewalks or any of that bullshit. And I know that football is coming to an end when winter is coming. So I go into deep depression when football season's over. So I start thinking about that a month ahead of time before it's even over. I'm like, I dread the fact that it's coming to an end.
How about you, Andy?
Well, we all have nowadays cars have rear camera. It's totally like taking the place of looking through the rear mirror. Look at that camera on the thing. Salt just cakes on it. It's like a useless thing. You can't even use it. You can't even use this damn. I mean, it's like, well, now I gotta use this goddamn mirror again, like I was trained in driver's training. And that's one thing I don't like. Second thing is also a driving. Okay, so I'm driving down, I drive 26 mile road the length. I drive it from, Shaner up every day back and forth. So I'm going up and down this maybe a lot. You get in the areas when I'm driving, okay, the sun is of a certain position. Creates a shade like over the road. And it like, we're like the tree, because what it does is that, there's no leaves on the trees, right? This like flickering light. It's like the light is like flickering in front of me the whole drive. By the time I'm like at Hayes Road, I'm like I'm like hallucinating. My tires on the road. It drives you mad. That's another thing I can't stand because there's no leaves in the trees during winter. And it's too. I mean, you asked the question, I give you two very exact answers.
How about you, Rob? I know in your case, it's like, well, I hate to get sunburned, and the water drops about 5 degrees from summertime.
Well, just the question. I like winter here in Florida better than summer, but for the love of God, not the people that are on the show and Timmy, but for the love of God, the 4 other people that sometimes watch, let's get away from topics. No more topics. Let's just freeform.
Can you mute him?
Hey, bro, that's why I'm here. I'm the topic guy.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
No, you're actually delightful when you chime in with something off the cuff, Brock.
Yeah.
The
So
topics
I'll
we just
take that
seem too
compliment.
scripted. I want it less scripted. I like it.
So
when we just
my
talk.
2 things are, one, I hate touching a handle and getting snapped with it, with like getting a little electric shock. And the other thing is static cling on my pants. Can't stand it. Drives me absolutely nuts.
You know that's a lie. The real thing he hates is McDonald's stopped selling the McRib sandwich during winter.
Ugh, never had one, never will.
Hey, Fred, stop wearing corduroys. That's causing all the static electricity.
That's right. That's right.
Dude, hey, if I could wear tough skins, I would.
And a nice velour quarter zip shirt.
Yeah. It's like
Remember the velour shirts?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
They made out. They made. I think they made that out of like car seat material.
Car seat material. Yeah, I think I wore a suit that was made out of my Buick Regal,
Yeah.
front seat and back seat. I looked like Huggy Bear from Starsky and Hutch, except majorly white. So
I'd pay to see you dressed like the Huggy Bear now.
Yeah.
That would be something.
There'd be something hugging.
I'll tell you what. Next year, when there's something that you guys I disagree with it, I'll bet you if it doesn't come to fruition, you guys can find me an outfit like that, and we'll go out to Gars. We'll go out to Gars and have a Boomba, and I have to wear that outfit.
I will not tell you who does this text every once in a while. I never hear from this person, hardly ever. But every once in a while, that person texts me, "You're one raisinette from 300 pounds," and smiley face, smiley face, smiley face. You remember that, Mike?
Why a raisinette?
Because it's the smallest thing you can find with calories. He said, "I'm just under 300 pounds." And I said, "You're one raisinette from 300 pounds. And every once in a while, someone texts me that over and over, laughing their ass off.
Oh God.
Oh.
Come on, Family Guy. Peter Griffin, laugh. It's funny.
It's not funny, Brock. Dear Skinner.
Brock, what number are you on? I'm on 3. Where are you at, buddy?
2.
This is a drinking show. I don't know why, but
Yeah.
yeah.
So what's what's everybody's plans for the holiday? You guys going anywhere? Are you doing it at
Julie and
home?
I going on a cruise.
Are you?
Are you going on a
Yeah.
What are
cruise,
you?
Brock?
What are you? The
Where are
fucking
you going?
cranks? Christmas
What?
with the cranks?
Oh, no. No. Going to God damn it. She sets them up, and I try to remember where the hell we're going.
Oh, I
Grant
love
came
that.
in and-
Somewhere
Woman
more
sets
than
him up. You
south.
just show up in a bikini and just look sexy for her. That's your
She-
deal.
She somehow convinced me that I don't need any money. So we're just going on vacation.
I'm lucky enough to work with Julie. She's an amazing person.
Yeah.
She's
Yes,
an
yeah.
amazing. She's that piece of the fabric of that place now. That place runs through.
Wait, I just love this deal, man.
She's the secretary at Marine City Middle School, but she's in, right. She is one of the pillars of that place.
I just
amazing
love she's
person.
got you on a string, bro. She just sets things up, expects you to show up and look good and be eye candy for her.
Listen, Brock, you're gonna go and you're gonna wear this nut hugger outfit, and you're gonna look good doing it.
That's the deal, Brock. That's your
And
story.
here you have to go double fisted because you have
When you
unlimited drink
outpunch your
package.
coverage, you do what they tell you to do.
It's amazing after 10 years of marriage, your head becomes like a bobblehead and it just goes this way. It doesn't go.
No, I
sideways.
like it. So he did make a good reference, Brock. Christmas with the Cranks. That's what they did. They said, screw Christmas up here in the north. We're
Right,
just gonna
yeah.
go on yeah.
Actually, yesterday, what the hell's today? No, yesterday was 30. We've been married 30 years.
Wow.
You had to look on the calendar to find that out, Brock. Holy
No.
shit.
My days are just
Years.
flowing together.
Yeah,
so-
can we edit that part of the show so if Julie ends up just for some reason
She
watches
ain't
this?
watching this.
No,
shit.
I know. I just
Yeah,
kid.
there's-
I'm just kidding.
I think she's way too smart.
Well,
to
that
watch
was-
this
Yeah.
shit. Yeah.
So, Andy, are you just sticking around home?
Yeah, this is gonna be around here.
Nice.
Mom and Dad will come out this way, I think. On Christmas
Oh,
Day.
awesome. Mike, home?
Yeah, I've been home in 2 weeks, so I'll be home for Christmas. So
Fantastic. And Rob, I know you're going to be with Gager, I think this year. No, yes,
We're doing Christmas Eve dinner for the Tracys here.
yep.
They're coming. I'm going to do a prime rib, and then Christmas Day, about 1 or 2, Gager and I leave for the Georgia mountains. We're going to do a cabin for about 5 days.
Awesome.
Oh, cool.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, we are
Very cool.
Christmas Eve. My girls are coming over for Christmas Eve brunch or lunch or breakfast, and then that night we'll probably go to church early, and then Leslie, Jeff, and my niece Natalie and her new fiance Alec will be coming over, and we'll have a few drinky poos, and then in the morning we'll get up, we'll have breakfast, with mimosas and all that stuff, some quiche, and then we'll open up our presents. The girls will come over again and open up their gifts, and then we're going down to Kendra's parents and having dinner, ham, cheesy potatoes, salad, sweet potatoes, the works. So
Did you say mimosa and quiche?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have said probably egg pie, but if you want to call it quiche, that's cool.
Well, that's what they told me it was. They just put it in front of me. As you can see, I've been on the seafood diet my whole life. You see it and just eat it. So let's go. So keeping it simple this year.
Think of it as a big open face egg McMuffin.
There you
Just
go.
take
Open
bites off. Don't
face
cut a piece off.
sandwich.
Just take a bite off the rim.
Andy, is there anything better when you're drunk off your ass the next day, recovering from a hangover, than Pedialyte and an egg McMuffin? Sausage McMuffin with egg.
Yeah, steak, egg, and cheese bagel.
Well, they don't have them all the time. So you gotta.
They do now. They're back.
Are they
I
back?
thought for sure, Robbie, you're going to say sea urchin with pelican sperm or something.
Okay, let me preface it that. No, not pelican sperm, quail egg, raw. It's sea urchin with a quail egg. Listen, Andy,
I digress.
Bizarre's a
I'm
little
sorry.
more refined. I got to deal with these dolts. I don't know about Brock. Brock's going to go off in the Caribbean on. I got to give him his props.
Okay, so quail sperm.
Pen come.
Fertilized
Do you
egg.
see what I have to deal with, Andy? Do you see what I have to deal with?
Oh, really? None of us are called. Everybody has their name up here except for you.
Bizarre. You bring it on yourself.
Bizarre, Fred.
No,
I'm
you're
bizarre.
bizarre.
They don't get it. They don't
Yeah.
get it.
Well,
Have
that
any-
reminds me one time at your house, Fred. I was over there. We were playing. I don't know. I came over there.
Sega Genesis.
Tummy
Yeah,
sticks.
you know,
guys
and
playing
you know,
tummy
yeah,
sticks?
Kiki and Father Don were at the table, and Chuck's walking back and forth doing things. You know, he's busy, and I don't know. I can just hear them talking. We're in living there, and they're talking, carrying on, and you know. I can hear her talking about, you know, buying clothes or whatever. And Chuck he's not half paying attention. He just butts in. Sure, Kiki, we can buy you a new jacket, a straight jacket. The only way he could do it.
Yeah, I don't know how my dad even made anything funny other than a dad joke.
He chimed in on that one. Said that'd be the best fitting jacket for your mom would be a straight jacket. I can remember him. And
He slept in his car that night.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, it's
She
it's
beat
just
his
one.
ass.
Oh God, we've all had it's Brock hasn't, but I think all of us have had a Kiki moment, where it's something that you'll remember, or a Chuck
I have one, Fred. For some reason, we didn't hang out a whole lot because you were younger. But I was at your house, and you asked your mom to make us some tuna fish sandwiches. And I'm like, yeah, I could eat a sandwich. And she made this tuna fish sandwich. It was really good. I mean, it was awesome. And Fred looks at me and goes, someday I'm gonna have to learn how to make those tuna fish sandwiches. I go, it's tuna fish and mayonnaise.
Onions, tuna fish, mayo.
Yeah.
Well, I know, but there's something that my grandma and her did that I just can't, I could never figure out. So,
It was really good, but I mean,
yeah.
Oh,
We
yeah,
were-
you have to,
we were
you have to
standing there
mix them
watching it.
together, Fred. You have to mix them together.
Oh, okay. I got it.
Does Kendra make good tuna fish sandwiches, Fred?
Is that what they're
Uh,
calling it these days? Making tuna fish sandwiches?
Is that what you kids are calling it now? Make the tuna fish sandwich?
Netflix and chill, right?
Uh,
all I can say
You
is,
see what you see how this is, Andy. If you're smart, you'll never, ever, ever come on here again.
This is a blast.
he's pretty
no,
smart.
actually, since Tim is injured, I think that we should have Andy on next week because his mouth will not, Tim's mouth and face won't be able to fit in the screen because it's swollen. He said
What's Timmy injured? What happened?
he had surgery in his mouth and it didn't go very well.
Hmm.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
So
There's
Andy's
nothing.
next gen stats tell him never to come on the show
Fred,
again.
Yeah.
Fred, could you try the same dentist?
Yeah. Oh shit! You had a couple zingers today, right?
Hey, you see what happens, Andy, when you got to deal with an asshole like that, and I have to be related to him too. By the way, I get and the fucker can say all he wants because he's 3,000 miles or 2,000 miles away, and if he was in the neighborhood and I went over to his house, he'd be shitting his pants.
Hmm.
You know what? And you know what really freaks me out about this whole thing is they're related, and one looks like Peter Griffin, and the other one looks like Quagmire.
Yeah. True. It's true.
I do not look like Chris Farley.
Who's got the dog that looks like Brian? Anybody?
Anybody?
Brett's
You
got a
guys
little dog over there, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Close enough.
yeah.
Hey, Fred, tell Mike what we should do about some of our previous episodes.
And Andy, I want your opinion. Everybody put their opinions on this. So we were talking about, about the show and how it's been going and stuff. And we were talking about we should have a show, or we should on every show should reminisce about a past episode that we did. So people get a reference of that show, and that forces that makes them interested, that makes them go out and look and see that video, and maybe they end up liking the show even more. So he thought it was a good idea to, maybe mention some things, because like I had a guy at work today, he's like, because he goes, dude, he goes, that Central Michigan story was friggin' hilarious. I'm like, I know. If you want to see it, just go to episode 11 of our podcast.
That's Shit Your Pants episode for all you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh God, yes. It was Kevin Mon saw the show, Andy, and as soon as he saw it, he walked over to the house with Connor, and he was laughing so hard he almost didn't make it to the couch. He was almost ready to hit the floor because he was laughing so hard. So I mean, I think, I don't know what you guys think. I mean, should we kind of reminisce about some of the shows, or point out some of the shows, or what do you think?
They definitely are. I mean, a lot of things like that and do that. And Patrick does that a lot. It's a popular guy. The Barstool people do that quite a bit. And it's very popular. And
Got the same ratings as the Barstool guys.
Yeah.
Well, like that's like the whole theory behind the wrap-up show with the Howard Stern show, is that they basically dissect an episode and go through it and take conversations from that even further and that kind of thing. Heck of an idea, especially with some of the ways that you guys, it seems like you're doing that with, that are, you go back to some great old stories from those times. And I just think it's super neat. We're of a generation of people, we're not all 50-year-old guys. When our dads were 50, they didn't have this platform to do that. They didn't have the ability to Zoom meet, and record and then publish, their conversations, talking about some cool things that are very, very unique. That there's still a lot of people that would have a lot of interest, that may have a little that may have been there too and can relate those kinds of things. So I think it's like an idea. It'd be really cool.
You know what, Andy? One of the things is I've noticed this with the younger generation. Hollywood has sucked for so long that they don't watch TV, network TV. They watch streaming. They watch original content from.
Yep.
And I'm not saying us because
They're not watching
have
us,
anybody,
Rob.
but that's nobody's watching us. I
100%.
Yeah.
Well, I'm.
It's a YouTube generation.
It's a YouTube generation, Brock.
Mhm.
It's exactly right. I mean,
It's more of
these
a
kids
TikTok
watch
generation now.
what is it, Mike?
It's
TikTok.
TikTok now. They can't even focus long enough to watch a YouTube episode.
Yeah.
We should just start doing TikTok shorts. Maybe that will we won't have topics and go on and on.
Do you think you
There's truth to that.
Fred
though.
and I
The
condensed
TikTok
Fred and
videos
I
and
condensed down
shorts
to a
are the rage.
TikTok short.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I would
Yeah, I
like
mean-
you to. If I'm being honest.
Let's be honest.
I think it would be fun to go back to some episodes and just do like a reacts kind of thing, like rip on each other all over again, like how stupid we probably were in the first episode and shit like that.
Well,
I mean, we're still complete morons, but we were really moronic the first couple of shows.
So I have a question for you. If you shared a screen with the episode on there in the corner and we watched it, and then kind of like mystery theater.
Yeah,
Mystery Science Theater, which
Yeah.
is a great
That was
show.
a great show, by the way.
That was a
awesome.
great show. Hey, when your brother Todd lived with my dad and I, we watched it, and he and I would drink beers and just laugh our friggin' asses off about those three little characters. It was friggin'
They're just
hilarious.
making comments through a movie the whole time.
God.
That was awesome.
Now that
Yeah.
we'd be
That was
good at.
actually that's way ahead of its time. I'm surprised
Oh,
people
oh,
just
yeah.
do that.
Way ahead of their time.
We'd be really good at that, making a bunch of comments when you're not supposed to be talking.
You're right.
Oh,
Well, you
yeah,
know,
that's the whole phrase. Yeah, for sure.
Well, could you imagine if the format of comedy shows like Three's Company and all that stuff came back, and that's how they did shows on TV again? I mean, because the thing is the reason that there's nobody watching TV, a regular TV, is because there's nothing worth watching, because there's no imagination. It's just like today's music. It's complete garbage because it's all sounds the same.
They don't want to wait a week for the next episode. They want to stream it all at one time too.
Sure.
Binge it.
Yeah.
So we should be doing like 30 videos a day, guys, is what Rob's saying.
Right. Yes.
That's how I took
TV
it.
lost its way with the reality TV shows. I think it just got too much.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, the we were very lucky to grow up in the era that we did for TV, because I think that was the best TV. None of that stuff would be allowed to be on TV now because it would be offensive to people. But again, Fred Sanford wouldn't be on, Jefferson's wouldn't be on, All in the Family wouldn't be on, Three's Company, Love Boat, any of that, the Fantasy Island, they'd find something wrong with that. Anything crazy like that, they would never.
You can't have you wouldn't be able to have Fantasy Island.
No.
Falcon Crest.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, Falcon Crest. When we talked Falcon Crest, what Heather
Dynasty.
Oh man,
Dynasty was good. Yeah.
Dallas.
Linda Evans is on
Dallas.
shape these days.
Andy,
Victoria-
the sheets and the
Dallas.
the pillows and the sheets in my parents' house after Falcon Crest never looked the same.
Yeah, Annalisa was on there.
Redone.
Yeah. Well, you got Victoria Principal on Dallas, and then on Dynasty you had Heather Locklear,
Hilton and Charlene Tilton
Linda
on
Evans,
Dallas.
Charlene Tilton,
Heather
Thomas on TJ Hooker,
DJ Hooker.
The
Who
fall
wouldn't see
guy, remember
Aaron Gray on
Battlestar
that?
Galactica.
Battlestar Galactica.
no, Buck
Oh,
Rogers.
it's Buck Rogers.
B. Arthur.
Oh
the
God.
Golden
Oh
Girls.
God, Rob's got something for the
Estelle Getty.
Golden Girls, Blanche
Yeah.
or something. I don't know.
So, you ask Rob what kind of pants he likes on a girl's, and he says depend. His answer is depends. No, I mean depends. It depends. Not the depends, but
You know what, guys?
We
This
got
was a good show. I hope people watch it. Not that we care. We really don't care. Well, are we doing this because we want people to watch it? No, we have a good time just getting together seems like every 2 to 3 weeks now. It seems like really pisses Fred
once
off.
a season. Once a season.
Well, you know, the
In the
good
spring.
thing. Yeah. See, hey, have a nice.
We'll see you in we'll see you in March.
See you in the fall. Yeah. But you know, what I like is the fact is, you know, we have a lot of opportunities to have people come on the show and just kind of have a, you know, just kind of a little powwow. I did get a text from Mr. Carlson, Tim, and he said, "Hey guys, I hope everything." He said it's to Tim and I. He said, "Hey, I hope everything. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to your families and stuff. And just remember that invitation to come out to my place and do an episode of the Idiot Circle is still on the table. Anytime you guys want to come out, let's do it."
Nice.
So I thought that'd be kind of cool to just show up at his door one day and he's like,
Wait, guys, hold on. Tim just called me. Hold on. I'll call him, get him on the phone, pretend that we're not on. Hold on. Why would he be calling me right now?
He loves you.
I wouldn't be calling you.
What's up, brother?
How'd it go?
It went all right. Fred was boring, asked too many questions, made it too much of a thing, but you know, the same old same.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I was gonna try and wing it,
Yeah.
and it was just bad. I'm like, okay.
Damn.
Good.
We missed you. We really did. Brock sucked, dude. He brings
Did he?
nothing to the table.
Really? Oh man. Especially with Andy, you could have had some great topics, you know, asked a bunch of questions.
Dude, is that guy like liquored up all the time or what?
Andy?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, you don't know?
That I don't know. Was he souped up? Was he?
I don't know, man. I think so. I think he was hitting ganja right before.
Might be. Who knows?
Yeah,
What? Never done it, but I would like to hit it right now with as much pain as I'm in.
oh, yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
Hey, say hi to everybody, Tim. You're on the Idiot Circle.
This is your life.
Yeah, you're on right now.
Boys, I miss everybody.
Well, we don't miss you because if your face is as swollen as it is right now, your head definitely wouldn't have fit on the screen.
Did he just say he missed us? He's definitely still on medication.
Yeah, easy on the fentanyl.
I feel like I'm storing nuts for the winter, boys.
Oh, you're storing nuts, all
You're
right.
still
right.
nuts.
Yeah.
Nuts. These nuts.
Yeah, and you got teabagged in the forehead and they're falling into your mouth. Right on a good one.
Are you still on it right now?
We're still
Yeah,
on it right
you're
now.
on it.
Yeah.
You're on it.
Tell Brock he ain't worth a shit. And
I'm friggin'. I'll put in a couple words every once in a while if I can get my face away from this mirror.
I love the guy. Love the guy.
Tim, you hurt my last feeling.
Yeah. Brock said you hurt his last feeling.
Oh.
He's got his Alabama visor on for you.
Get this, Tim. Brock shows up with an Alabama visor on.
That a boy.
That a boy? You're gone.
You're gone.
He's done.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh, good times, boys.
So hey, Andy, we really appreciate you coming on the show. We'd love to have you back.
Hey, that'd be an honor, man. It's great talking with some guys. You know, hey, I mean, you know, I'm like about 5-6 years behind most of you, and you know, just the way it worked around there. You know, you guys were. I looked up, and you know, one day wanted to be like,
Just call him back.
look where it's, you know, now look where I'm at.
Yeah, look where you're at.
Now look at me now. I could have been that guy right now. I think one day I'm going to meet somebody. And now, you know what? That moment has just happened.
Yeah.
No, seriously, this is a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, hey,
You know?
we'd love to have you on the show. You know, like I said, if one of us can't be on or something like that, I might reach out to you and text you. It might be a last minute thing, but
Sure.
we'll definitely plan another show. I think Andy would be a good person to have on if we start talking about when after the Lions win the North Division.
Andy, you seem like a wonderful person. You really do. I don't know you, but you seem like a wonderful person. You're a nice guy. My advice to you, don't ever come on this fucking show again.
Don't listen to him, Andy.
You
He's
didn't
the
tell me that.
He's the devil.
It only
incarnate.
help you in life if you're not a show associated with
Yeah.
this. Trust me.
Andy, he's the devil incarnate. Don't listen to him.
Oh, hey, I mean, you know, I'll always proceed with caution, but but no, for sure, lots of fun, man. It'd be great to just talk about stuff.
That's cool. That's cool. And hey, again, guys, hey, hit that notification button on the YouTube channel there. To subscribe so you guys get notifications when we have a new show out. Give us a thumbs up, thumbs down, regardless. We're cool with whatever you put in there. You can find us on X, Facebook, Instagram, and obviously YouTube. And feel free to send topics. Talk to us anytime if you
No
see us in
topics.
public.
No topics. Look
Tell
at
us
this.
Tell us what
Look
you
at
like
this.
to
Look
tell,
at what's coming. Look at.
and we'll kind of go from there. Oh God, is that the Humpty Dumpty fell off the wall? Humpty Dumpty
wanna
had
see
the
that
great
thing.
fall. Look at
Cut
that
me off.
egghead.
You cut me off. That's it.
Is that Pennywise?
Oh,
I
Yeah.
think he's still on
Oh my
medication.
God.
Oh, look at his face.
Face on there.
What the hell's he doing?
Holy shit!
He's still
No.
medicated.
yes. Don't make me laugh.
Hey, are you on drugs?
I am.
Then give me
don't-
some.
Don't hide those. Divide them up. Share some.
Hey Tim, does your face hurt?
It's
Sure
killing
killing me.
everybody else.
Yeah, we put that face in some cookie dough and make some gorilla cookies.
Yep.
Tim, you just need to learn how to drink whiskey.
Oh, I'm telling you, it
That'll
hurts
take care
bad.
away a lot of your problems. Let me tell you.
Oh, it's like right here.
How about a Boomba? You need a Boomba?
Oh,
Tim?
You need a Boomba.
I
You
may
look like-
have to.
Dude, you
He's
look
like
like
Tommy
Popeye.
Boy. It hurt. Doesn't hurt here. Just right
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, not
That's
here,
Here.
not
or
in this
here.
region, but like right
Yeah.
here.
Nope. Ship shape.
Very marks.
Hey,
though.
what happened to your face? Oh, I knew it. You look
Andy,
like
you're the
Popeye.
best.
Prehistoric forest.
The only good guy on this whole show is Andy. Now, the rest of you are assholes.
Well,
Well,
you,
guess
wouldn't-
what?
you won't believe what
You-
he said about you.
Oh yeah.
Hey.
Wait till you watch the episode, Tim.
Oh yeah. Oh, by the way, Tim, right now, if you were in a Popeye lookalike contest, you'd win.
Right there.
Tim, just say this. I am what I am.
I am what I am.
There you go.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So
How in parrot skin.
do one of these shots, Tim. Give us
Yeah.
see what's going on. We want to see what's
Yeah.
going on in there. Let's see.
I
What's,
know.
let's see a little infection. We
I can
can't get the show any worse. Show us.
It's either that or the Stay Puft Marshmallow Boy from Ghostbusters.
Nice.
It was real bad. I'll send you a picture of the tooth. It's horrible. It's gone.
Oh, I thought they did
Yeah.
surgery on your nose.
God.
It was puffy.
Oh. Anyway, off the tooth subject. Andy, how the hell are you?
Doing well, Timmy, man. Doing well.
Speaking
Sorry to
of
hear that
frozen?
you're under the weather.
Everybody's frozen. What the hell? I'm the only
You're
one
frozen.
not frozen. What?
No, you're the
Oh,
one.
you're frozen. You. That's like the whole world's fucked up. No, Tim, you are fucked up.
Andy's not moving.
I'm moving
Yeah.
now.
All right, there you
I'm
go.
just listening, man. Yeah. But no, I'm
Yeah.
sorry to hear that you're under the weather, brother.
A little bit, not bad.
Yeah.
It was an emergency
Hey.
thing. It was got bad today. I woke up this morning. It was in real bad shape, and it was just. But then Rob hung up on me, so I mustered it up.
Well, you know what you need to do? Lay in the bed and listen to All Along the Watchtower by Jimi Hendrix and just enjoy that feeling you got going in your face and head right now.
It's horrible. It's horrible. But
Well,
So-
talking isn't going to help you, young man.
When I'm
You
not
need to
feeling good,
rest.
Tim, this is what I do. Turn Van Helsing on and watch Kate Beckinsale. It always
So-
puts you in a better mood.
Yes. So all the blood that's in your face that's hurting will go somewhere else.
horrible. It's horrible. It's horrible. Anyway, Brock, I have to say I respect your hat, but I want Michigan to win.
Me too. Me too.
Don't
but
laugh. Don't.
I enjoy the head.
There's the gauger.
Okay.
I'm gonna bring him
Ladies-
on and say
ladies
hello,
and
but then
gentlemen.
I gotta go. Gage, say hi to the idiot circle.
Good to check in, boys. Andy, you're the best.
Gage, say hi.
I mean, look forward to seeing you soon, man. Hope you
Yeah.
have a great holiday, man. Take care of
Yep.
yourself.
So
Yeah,
again, Twitter
Merry Christmas.
or X, Facebook.
No jumping in the river,
YouTube.
Andy. Jumping in the river.
No, I'm gonna stay sure about
Yep.
it.
Give us thumbs up. You guys all have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New
hey,
Year.
Fred, before we go, we got to get Glodich on to talk about Run to the River.
We will get Glodich on. We'll talk again about it for sure.
All right.
So,
See you guys
boys,
later.
love you guys.
See ya.
Happy, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Andy, thank you for being on the show, brother.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Merry
Cheers,
Christmas.
boys.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.